If this is your first time watching any of my sports betting videos, you may wonder who the heck is this nerdy looking guy? I'm Professor MJ and I teach statistics courses at a Canadian university. I've also been in the sports investing business for 20 years. Today, I'll teach you another winning baseball system I came up with, which I call the hot bats betting strategy. If you would like to earn more than 11 times your average bet on every MLB season, well, this video is for you. You have seen a baseball team scoring a profusion of runs recently. In your mind, it might go like this. Man, this team has been on fire lately. Maybe I should bank on this hot streak by betting them. Well, should you do it? As a stats professor, I say, hold on. Let's look at past data. Specifically, we explore the following scenario. When a Major League Baseball team scores many runs over a stretch of consecutive games, should we bet them or should we fade them in their following game? My mantra as a sports investor is to go against the grain in the vast majority of cases. So based on this philosophy, I would tend to bet against the team whose bats have been on fire lately. Why not verify this gut feeling via historical data? The results exhibited in this statistical study are based on 17,000 baseball games, covering the 2010 to 2016 period. I simply do not own the data on the most recent seasons, which is why they are not included. Let's kick off this analysis by looking at the case of a hot two-game stretch. More specifically, suppose a team that I'm going to call Team A won both of its last two games by scoring many runs in each of them. What's likely to happen next? Who knows?
Alright, so let me make sure that things are super clear to you. Otherwise, you won't understand the rest of this video. So we have a team that I've decided to call Team A that won its previous two games by scoring many runs in each. So for example, let's say that we require that they have scored at least 6 runs. Okay, so let's say they win 6-1 and then the next day they win the game 8-5. Okay, so 2 straight wins by scoring at least 6 runs in each. And the question is, what if we had wagered $1 in their following game? And what if we had done that over the 2010 to 2016 regular seasons? Because that's the data that I own. Well, the table that I'm about to show you answers this question, both from betting or betting against Team A, the team whose bats have been hot recently. And I'm also going to cover the case where the minimum number of runs scored per match was 7, 8, or 9. Alright, so are you following me? Now let's look at the results. Okay, so in the first column, you see the minimum number of runs scored in each of the past two games, which can either be 6, 7, 8, or 9. The next three columns show you the gambling outcome from betting Team A, and the last three columns show you what happened if you faded Team A, which means that you bet against Team A. The most important numbers in this table can be found in the profit columns, both from betting or fading Team A, as we are hoping to find big winnings. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing to be super excited about. We do have 3 positive profit figures, but none is particularly large.
Perhaps betting or fading Team A turned out to be a moneymaker when they were on the road or at home. Let's see if we can find substantial profit numbers in either case.
Alright, so the table on top of your screen shows what happened when Team A was the road team, whereas the bottom table shows the case when Team A was the home team. Okay, let's see. Oh wow! Let's look at the case where we won close to $48. Nice! Well, based on the statistical evidence, I would advocate that we investigate the following system further, and let me call it strategy number 1. Fading Team A when at home after it won 2 straight games by scoring a minimum of 6 runs per match. In this situation, we won $47.56 by placing just $1 bets during our 7-year span in my dataset. And those winnings came from betting more than 1,000 games, which is really amazing. Well, but my excitement is tempered by the fact that we lost money if the minimum number of runs scored per game was 7 or 8. But one of the main reasons why I do advise pursuing this betting strategy, other than the fact that it yielded some big winnings, is that it is in accordance with our initial guess, which stated that we might be better off betting against Team A. So that's great news.
It's now time to assess whether the system I just described performed better on favorites or underdogs by doing the odds split. Should we bet this angle under a specific range of odds only?
As you can see, I have broken down Team A's moneyline into 11 categories. Now the results are quite puzzling.
Oh. Oh.
We made a huge proportion, well 89% to be more exact, of the overall profit within the first 2 categories. But the next 2 did badly with notable losses. So therefore, I would argue that the odds should not play a role when deciding to bet this system or not.
The make or break step before adopting or rejecting a system consists of looking if it performed well in each past season. We definitely want to avoid a situation where we won a considerable amount of cash in just 1 or 2 specific years, but lost in all other seasons. So with this goal in mind, let's look at strategy number 1's yearly profit.
The results are a bit disappointing since 70% of the overall profit was secured in a single year, the 2010 season. Here's how I interpret the numbers on your screen. We had 3 definitely good winning seasons, 2010, 13, and 14. We had 2 bad losing ones, 2011 and 15, while we pretty much broke even the other 2. So it's like having a record of 3, 2, and 2. Not so good. But still, how can you ignore a system generating such big winnings? You just can't. So therefore, me and my lucky lobster bell fully endorse this betting strategy.
What if the series of games where Team A wins each one by scoring a good deal of runs is of length 3 instead of just 2? Let's dive into the good 3-game stretch right now.
So here is what would have happened if you had placed $1 bets on every game after a team called Team A had gone through a 3-game winning streak while scoring at least 6, 7, 8 or 9 runs in each of those 3 meetings. Well, the results are not so good. There is not a single profit figure that goes above $10, and the only ones that come fairly close to this threshold suggest backing Team A, which goes against our original intuition.
I am now going to break down the results depending on whether the team with the hot bats, called Team A, was on the road or at home. So here is the road-home split under the hot 3-game setting.
Now there is one case that definitely stands out from the 2 tables on your screen, and let's call it strategy number 2. Betting Team A when on the road after it won 3 straight games by scoring a minimum of 6 runs per match. And in this case, we made a profit of around $22. But there is one thing that worries me about this system. Putting money on Team A was not part of the original plan. So I'm going to need strong evidence in favor of this betting strategy before endorsing it.
Should we restrict our bets on strategy number 2 on a particular range of money lines? The odd split is coming your way. Hey, did you see that? There's a $10,000 bill behind me.
Are you still there, buddy? Good job, keep it up. Now, once again, I have broken down the money line on Team A into 11 ranges. And based on the numbers on your screen, we did not make any money off big favorites nor big underdogs. So it does not appear like the odds should be part of your decision-making process.
Did we earn consistent money across the years by following strategy number 2? Anybody know?
The regularity is fairly good, but notice how 20 out of the $22 profit came from just 2 years, 2012 and 13. So that's not very good. And recall how I said earlier that I would not retain this strategy unless its results are truly spectacular, which they are not. Well, I've decided to omit this betting system for future use. Sorry guys.
Finally a break from this hot sun in downtown Denver. I just enjoyed 3 delicious soft tacos from Taco Bell in my hotel room. And I'm so pissed that we don't have any Taco Bells back home in Quebec City. But let's get down to business, as we now probe the final scenario of Team A that wins 4 games in a row, each by racking up numerous points offensively.
Demanding 4 straight victories reduces the sample sizes quite a bit, which is why I have relaxed the requirement on the minimum number of runs scored by 1. So previously it ran from 6 to 9, now in this table it goes from 5 to 8. Now in most cases, fading Team A turns out to be a better option than betting them, so that's encouraging.
Yes!
However, the highest profit is $7.62, which is too negligible considering it was gained over 7 full seasons. So let's cross our fingers that we can find better alternatives in the subsequent sections. And as you will see, we will.
What? Okay, nap time is over. Why don't we break down the results depending on whether Team A played on the road or at home? Yep, you know it. The road home split is coming up.
Putting our money on Team A seems like the best choice when they are the visiting team. It yielded some winnings no matter the minimal number of runs scored per game.
Yeah!
Still, I have decided to omit this system for a few reasons. Even the highest profit amount, of about $14, is not super high. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm wary of systems indicating to bet Team A. The second table, the one at the bottom, provides a good potential system, and let's call it strategy number 3. Fading Team A when at home after it won 4 straight games by scoring a minimum of 5 runs per match. That system produced winnings of about $34. Now there's a lot to like about this betting strategy. First, it provides a reasonable sample size of over 200 games. Number 2, a great return on your money with a ROI of about 16%. 3, it fits with the original hypothesis of fading Team A. But we still need to make further verifications before accepting it as a truly viable gambling system.
Once again, let's take a look at how the angle responded as a function of Team A's money line. Let's rock and roll.
Oh my god! Did you see how all 11 ranges brought a positive profit except just one? Wow! That's truly remarkable. So there is no doubt that this system does well across all odds.
Oh, please! Hopefully, the $34 profit came from at least 5 winning seasons in the 7-year period covered in this study. Let's see how strategy number 3 did as a function of the season. Come on, baby!
Great! There were 4 definitely profitable seasons, whereas the remaining 3 ended close to 0. So in other words, there hasn't been a single season where our bankroll suffered a severe blow. I like it, and so does, that's right, my lucky lobster bell, which means we officially support this betting strategy. Attaboy!
Throughout this video, I've always required the team who has been hot offensively over their past 2, 3, or 4 games to have also won all of those games. But what if they don't necessarily win all of them while still scoring many runs? As a good ally to you, I did the research and let me save you some precious time. The results don't improve under this context. The potential betting systems are no better than the ones we already discussed. Oh man, my head is spinning. We've covered so much ground in this video, but it was well worth it. I'm going to leave you with the 2 final strategies that I recommend using from now on, based on the hot bats angle. Let's review them quickly.
The first betting strategy related to the hot bats angle that I recommend using goes as follows. So the past 2 games of a team that we chose to call Team A must have gone like this. They must have won both of those games by scoring at least 6 runs in each. Now if Team A's next game is at home, here's what you need to do. You bet against Team A. In other words, you fade them. System number 2, winning system number 2. Team A's past 4 games must all be wins by scoring at least 5 runs in each meeting. And once again, you need Team A's next game to be at home for you to bet. You bet against them once again. Now what's the future performance that you can expect from these 2 systems? Well, the expected profit per season, if your average bet is $1, is to make close to $7 thanks to the first betting strategy and about $5 thanks to the second system. So overall, you should expect to net $11.68 per year. Well, what's your average bet? I guess it's not $1. I sure hope not. If your average bet is $100, then you can expect to earn $1,168 per year. Nice! Now, if you combine this hot bat angle with other betting strategies that I show you in other videos, you are going to do some serious damage to your bookie.
So, did you enjoy the hot bats betting system? I'm shooting this video in late July 2019, and out of the 19 strategies I've developed, this one has been the most lucrative by far, with an astonishing 41 unit profit thus far in the 2019 regular season. So start taking advantage of this betting angle as soon as possible. You've already missed out on so much money. If you don't feel like keeping track of all 19 strategies every day, I can do it for you. Just go to professormj.com and click on Sports Betting Strategies to see how to receive all daily plays directly in your mailbox. So it's time to go. This is Professor MJ, Stats University professor. Thanks for watching, and we'll stay in touch. Bye bye.